I want you to consider what you fear most. Shout out a word or two.
Hate. I fear hate.
Hate.
Injustice.
Injustice. Suffering. Death. Failure. Say again? You fear health? Fear not having health. For years, I have asked patients on my intake form, what do you fear? You would be surprised how many times they write God. Doctors have seen incessant unconscious fear and anger damaging a person's heart and kidneys, stomach, even the entire circulatory system, with the patient completely unaware. It is not until the body is damaged enough to cause pain that the patient seeks medical attention. The lie detector functions on exactly this principle, recording physical reactions to memories to which one is in denial or wants to conceal. What is the relationship of fear with wholeness? At knee-high, my grandmother told me a story about a young schnauzer, Standtal, who came to Old Oak searching for understanding. Old Oak, a fight is going on inside of me, she said. It is a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil. She is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. She is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. Old Oak said, the same fight going on inside you is inside every other person too. Standtal thought about it for a minute and then asked, which wolf will win? Old Oak replied, the one you feed. Running River called out, but if you feed them right, they both win. You see, if I only choose to feed the white wolf, the black one will be hiding around every corner, waiting for me to become distracted or weak and jump to get the attention she craves. She will always be angry and always fighting the white wolf. But if I acknowledge her, she is happy, and the white wolf is happy, and we all win. For the black wolf has many qualities: tenacity, courage, fearlessness, strong will, and great strategic thinking that I have needed at times and that the white wolf lacks. But the white wolf has compassion, caring, strength, and the ability to recognize what is in the best interest of all. You see, my daughter, the white wolf needs the black wolf at her side. To feed only one would starve the other, and they will become uncontrollable. To feed and care for both means they will serve you well and do nothing that is not a part of something greater, something good, something of life. Feed them both, and there will be no internal struggle for your attention. And when there is no battle inside, you can listen to the voices of deeper knowledge that will guide you in choosing what is right in every circumstance. Peace, my daughter, is the Cherokee mission in life. A woman who is whole inside has everything. A woman who is pulled apart by the war inside her has nothing. How you choose to interact with the opposing forces within you will determine your life. Starve one or the other, or guide them both. Aho. Science tells us humans harbor a pack of neurological wolves in our brain. The old ones reside in the limbic system, and they are filled with aggression and fear. They are fast, efficient, and potentially deadly, and they have been around for 150 million years. The younger ones reside in our frontal lobes and anterior cingulate, where empathy, reason, logic, and compassion reside. These pups are playful and imaginative, but they are also neurologically vulnerable and slow when compared to the activity in the amygdala, the emotional parts of the brain. Integration of all the neurological wolves empower us to be fully human, to be whole. Wellness is not just the absence of illness. In fact, wellness can exist with illness. Wellness entails the effort of discovering an ongoing process, developing an awareness of, and making choices toward a healthy and fulfilling life. Wellness is more than being free from illness. It's a daily dynamic of change and growth. The initial goal is to relieve symptoms. However, more importantly, to cure the sickness, enabling the patient to find balance, the harmony of living, a holistic healing, a healing of the complete person. Optimal health is wholeness, and wholeness is the integration of body, soul, and mind. Healing can be described as a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual process of coming home. Cindy came to me 9 months after sustaining multiple fractures, requiring several surgeries from a terrible motor vehicle accident. Prior to the injury, she was a downhill skiing contender for the Olympics. The chronic pain was bad enough. However, the loss of the ability to compete had broken her soul. She was withdrawn, angry at God, her family, and herself. Together, we designed a whole person treatment plan that included journaling with her non-dominant hand, meditation, yoga, improved nutrition, and ear acupuncture. 6 months later, she declared, "I'm amazed by my healing, although I have come to know I will never be fully cured." Studies have shown people regard themselves as healthy despite the diagnosis of disease if they feel they continue to be fully whole and prevail over the disease. Conversely, people report to be unhealthy if they sense a lack of fitness, even in the absence of a medical diagnosis of disease. Too often, Western medicine is focused on a quick fix, temporarily providing relief, which ultimately masks symptoms that might be an alarm to a more serious disease. The etiology, however, may be genetically or biochemically mediated, yet rooted in anxiety and unresolved guilt or unrealistic expectation and past trauma or other psychosocial dis-ease. Left untreated, these will find new ways to be expressed within the body. The soul screaming for the attention of the body. In such instances, a chemical or surgical fix is only a delay in treating the underlying problem. Whole person healing evaluates dyslexia strikes again, evaluates the ailing person and total fabric of the life, rather than compartmenting the different parts of a person, looking at the whole fabric of life, treating the cause of dis-ease. Healing is not just elimination of pathogens, rather the integration of our brokenness and disease into our whole person. Neuroscience tells us that the emotional perceptions of pain, touch, sight, taste, sound are transmitted to the brain through a set of specialized peripheral sensory neurons, known as nociception. When a finger is traumatized by an ill-placed hammer blow, nociceptors transmit the message through a neural pathway, bringing the news to the unfortunate carpenter's consciousness, to which she screams, "Ouch!" Pain is not merely the activity of nociceptors telegraphing their injured state to a person's brain. Pain is a signal that the whole organism is in trouble. Pain is a threat to the very integrity of the person, especially when the pain becomes chronic. While serving as associate minister of wholeness at a previous church, Robert pulled me aside during a committee meeting. His migraines had become unbearable. With increasing stress at work, he felt incapacitated almost daily. He couldn't remember the last time he had a good night's sleep. He was mad at everyone and everything, even God. We are not beings of separate and distinctively different components, but a whole person. We are spirits who have souls that live in bodies. The biblical and theological understandings of a whole person include body and soul. All these aspects of humanity are inextricably woven together. To be whole, to be complete, each aspect of a person must be well. When any aspect of our being is not well, the other aspects are adversely affected. Andrew Newberg, a medical doctor who is pioneering the neurological study of spirituality, a field he calls neurotheology. This emerging new field is studying the brains and the brain function of persons daily committed to spiritual practices, even for the non-believer. His team has firm evidence prayer and spiritual practice reduces stress. That contemplating a loving God rather than a gotcha God promotes improved wellness. A recent examination of both women and men from European and African descent showed that people who are active in their faith community have an increased life expectancy and quality of life. How strong is this effect? Prospective studies have revealed evidence that faith communities' impact on health is more compelling than the evidence for the commonly adopted assertion that chronic underlying hostility is a risk factor for coronary heart disease. George Will Comstock, the renowned epidemiologist at Johns Hopkins Medical School, declared as early as 1972 that participation in a faith community can promote individual health and wellness. In 2016, an Episcopal bishop envisioned a community of faith as a wholeness incubator. The current identity statement of the Disciples of Christ reads, "We are a movement of wholeness in a fragmented world." Most churches are clueless and focused on their own institutional survival and financial health. Some local churches are playing catch-up. I see more for Shadow Rock. Do not restrain the Holy Spirit. Do not spurn inspired messages. See God's vision in all things. Keep what is good and avoid every kind of discontent. Now may the God of wholeness make you holy in every way, and may your whole spirit and soul and body be kept whole. In keeping with our Shadow Rock covenant to be with one another, to be that sensitive and responsive part of human society which perceives and responds to God's newest thrust in the midst of history, I invite us to prayerfully consider what the Spirit is calling Shadow Rock to do. How can we be a movement of wholeness for one another in our fragmented worlds? Amen.